Guys, it's Amari and I'm back to make something else from my comments, butter chicken. And honestly, I think it's brought me closer to God. So to the kitchen. It's against my religion to buy seasoning that I probably only use once, so I'm just going to use a combination of seasonings I found on Reddit instead of buying garam masala. This was my first time ever buying fresh ginger, and honestly I might not hate it, but for some reason I don't like ginger powder. And I was quite in shock at how much of this stuff I already had in the cabinet. I'm thinking about using this leftover ginger to make something with peaches because ginger and peaches just go together. I got this slicer with the microplaning section just so I could start zesting lemons for my recipes, and I'm honestly surprised at how much I use it because I use it for cheese, I use it for garlic, I use it for lemons, oranges, and now I'm on ginger and garlic again. Wow, I'm kind of the king of buying a multiversal appliance. I think I finally got my $20 out of this, and I got this cup of yogurt because I've been seeing everybody talk about it and I knew I needed a thick yogurt. But also, I've never bought a yogurt with a film on top of it before. So there's the seasonings, about a teaspoon of ginger and some yogurt and about 1 whole clove of garlic. So this is a pretty straightforward marinade, and the yogurt's going to carry all of our seasonings that are going to go on the chicken. And now I started off by deboning chicken thighs because as you guys know by now, I absolutely hate chicken breast, even though people normally do this with boneless chicken breast. But if you want to do it yourself, deboning a chicken thigh isn't too hard. Just follow your knife along the bone, or just follow the bone with your knife. And you always want to make sure you're slicing up your chicken evenly. I'm going to go for like 5 or 6 pieces per slice. Not per slice, per thigh. Might be. Okay guys, I was kind of concerned right here because I tasted some of that seasoning and I didn't really like it very much. And I didn't think it looked the way it did online. But after I let it sit for a bit, I just went ahead and started working on getting the rest of the stuff ready for the sauce. Everyone saying to put cashews in this absolutely threw me for a loop. I love cashews, but I didn't see what they were going to do here, but I found that they thicken it up, almost in the same way as Dijon mustard. I didn't really plan on blending any of this stuff like normal, so I wanted to cut everything really small, so I just kind of threw the cashews in my mortar and pestle thingamabob, but I ended up blending them up anyway. I just have past trauma from a blender. And while I was doing my research, I saw someone add in half of a serrano pepper, so I'm gonna do that too, even though I don't like pepper very much. Okay, so funny story, if you followed me on TikTok last year, you saw I just learned how to use a manual can opener less than a year ago. I just got really used to opening cans up with my knife. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start my naan before I take the chicken out of the fridge because who doesn't love naan, and that's why everyone eating it with this. But I went down a weird rabbit hole trying to find out what to use to make it rise because I saw some people using yogurt and baking powder or baking soda and some people using yeast, but I went with the yeast because I'm really used to working with yeast already. And to the people who were new here, my original plan was just for me to post bread recipes on here, but everyone told me to stop and start cooking more. Because people know me for cooking way more than I ever bake. Now when it gets into a smooth ball kind of sorta, or at least a ball, that's when I go ahead and add in the olive oil. And then I let it sit for 30 minutes while I do the stuff for the chicken. Now I'm just gonna saute this chicken in oil with the yogurt on it until it's 80% done but not fully done because we're gonna keep cooking it in the sauce later. So just take it out of the heat. You can also totally just do this in the oven, but for some reason every time I use this pot I have an excess of liquid in the bottom. I don't know if it's the way it's shaped or if it's not receiving even heat like I thought or what. But it's not this recipe specific, it's like anytime I try to saute something in this pot it stays really wet. When the sauce was still kind of looking like this, I was really scared it was going to taste weird until I actually tasted it. And now I'm just going to go in with all of my chopped onions from earlier. I saw some people use red onions and thought that was interesting, but they say white is the traditional. Not white, I meant yellow, so I just used my yellow onion instead. But I bought a red onion too, so I'm just going to use it for something else later. And now that those onions are soft, I go in with 2 more cloves of garlic and about a tablespoon of minced up ginger. And 30 seconds later, I go in with those seasonings I mentioned earlier. These are the exact same ones that were in the yogurt too. And then I just kind of threw in that whole can of tomatoes and let them cook together for about a minute or two. And then I turned off the heat and let these cool down some before I put them in the blender. My plan wasn't to put them in the blender until I thought I messed it up there, because I was like, oh my god, it looks so chunky. This isn't right. Everyone's gonna hate me. They're gonna stone me if they see me in public. Oh my god. Now here's where my trauma also comes in a little bit. Last time I tried to blend something warm, my blender literally came apart and shot around the kitchen. I kid you not, that happened in high school, and that's the last time I blended anything warm. I was making black bean stew and that absolutely freaked me out. Oh wait, actually that wasn't in high school, that was last summer. I'm putting everything in the blender except for that cinnamon stick. I fished it out. But I do regret not buying that stick blender now 3 months ago, because ever since I decided not to buy it, I've been needing it all the time. And now we have our nice velvety sauce, which is what they say is restaurant style. But I wouldn't know because I've never seen this in a restaurant. Every time I go out and get Indian food with my friends, I almost exclusively get something with shrimp, like shrimp korma. But now we're just going to cover this chicken up with the sauce and let it simmer for 15 minutes after adding half a cup of heavy whipping cream. Now while that goes, we're going to go ahead and make this naan. I'm just going to tear it into 7 pieces and just flatten these out into disc instead of getting out my roller. I'm just going to throw these down on this mat and do them by hand. Every time I don't feel like getting out my roller, I just make a disc and flatten the disc with the heel of my hand. And I kind of just go in a circle so it keeps its shape. And now I'm just going to evenly coat a pan with oil and make sure I get it really hot. And make sure you're moving your body with the oil in the pan, because you really just have to become one with the oil. I saw a lady spread the oil with the paper towel, so I just did that too. And I'm just going to cook these at about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. I could eat naan all day, literally every day. Well, if I had to. And now that our naan is done, it's time to nibble. I think this is probably one of the best meals that I've made on this channel. It's by far the best looking, but I think number 1 for me might be the fricassee or this. I don't know, I had to make the fricassee again soon so I can kind of do a side-by-side comparison deal. It was so nice and juicy and delicious, and I felt the flavors melting on my tongue. I honestly believe this is some of the best chicken I've had in my entire life. But will I be making it again? Probably not. Don't get me wrong. It was really good. It was great, but it's something I'm probably going to go out and order with my friends more so than ever make in my own house. Actually, maybe it'll just be one of those things that I make upon request, but I don't necessarily see myself just craving this for some reason. I know that sounds really weird, but it's making sense to me in my head. But anyway, that's all I've got for you guys, so don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you on Saturday for this one.